Hello, welcome back inside the mind of Matt, and this is part 2 of my 3D printed mold box video. Today I'm gonna bust out the kiln, crank it up, putting these guys in it, drying them out at slow first, and then I'm gonna turn it up, burn out the PLA, and then we're gonna melt some aluminium and we're gonna pour it inside. If you want to see the results, make sure you watch the rest of this video. Stay tuned. And happy Labor Day. The molds came out nice and hard. Now I will say that the last couple times that I've used this plaster Paris mix, I'm gonna admit that as far as my ratios, they're not very good. I know that I've got a lot more water than I should, and my formula's been really runny, but I have found that that has been helpful because it's getting through all the nooks and crannies, but it's very forgiving, so it hasn't really like made an effect. The water all evaporates. So all I'm saying is that the plaster of Paris is a little forgiving as far as the ratios go, so don't like stress yourself out trying to be like exactamundo. Anyways, now I do want to make an attempt at removing one of these shells, and if it works I'll remove them all, but let me see what happens. Alright, that wasn't horribly difficult. You can see where I had painted them on in the prior video, the two different between the sand and the plaster of Paris, but I'm going to leave the other ones on. We're going to run this experiment and leave one off and 3 of them on. See what happens. Alright, so I do want to set something down in the bottom to try to collect as much of the plastic as possible. I got a really old cookie sheet I found buried in the bottom of the cupboard. Sorry honey, I'll buy you a new one if you end up watching this video. Alright, so this first hour I've got the timer set, and it's basically just going to be drying the plaster of Paris. And then once again we'll just kind of slowly ramp it all up to temp over the next few hours. I won't bore you with all that, but I will be occasionally checking in and seeing how the plastic is all melting. So we're going to be pouring here in a little bit, so keep watching. I did get a few new items to help me do my little hobby here a little bit better. Of course, I got some gloves. These are 1000 degrees Celsius gloves. You know, I'm going a little bit more than that. Actually, less than that. Yeah, less than that. So these should help out. And I got a ladle too. This is a casting ladle, and I'm going to actually use it for doing these coins. I'm hoping it's just going to give me just enough of a portion to fill it right out. Got a little pouring spout on each side. It's just some rough iron. So I'll leave links in the description for both of those if you want. And this is one of the other items that the guy that sent me the gas mask sent me. A couple other things they sent just to play around with and stuff, but I'll be using this and that and that and these all today. Okay, once again we're at the first hour mark. We're just about 200 degrees Celsius, a little bit more. Just about the temperature at which our PLA is printed at. So we know it melts at that temperature. So let's see what's going on. Okay, as you see, the outside of the molds are starting to separate. I think we're in good shape, but it needs to dry some more as far as the plaster Paris. So I'm just gonna put the top element to the medium and try to get this around 300 degrees, and I'm just gonna leave it there for the next hour. So I'm not gonna rush it once again. How do you like my new gloves though? I'm really gonna be testing these today. I did find my temperature gun, and I am going to try to test this for a little bit of accuracy, see if this thermometer that came on it is actually somewhat accurate. Yeah, I'm reading it at about 260 degrees max, so pretty accurate, so I can trust it. Okay, it's been another hour. We're just about 300 plus degrees, so let's take a look and see what we got. Whew, steamy. Okay, as you see, the shells on this side are definitely starting to melt off. See residues down at the bottom. I'm definitely gonna get a different kind of tray or something. I've got an idea on what to do for this bottom, so stay tuned for that. But like I said, this is all just a work in progress. Alright, so I guess I'm just going to leave it at this temp for a little while longer and just let all that plastic keep melting. Okay, it's been another hour. We're going to open this up and see what's going on. We are at just under 400 degrees Celsius. Okay, most of the plastic shell is been melted off. It's down in the bottom, pretty much in a pool. We're just going to keep letting this go for one more hour just for the burnout process. and then I'll start to crank up the temperature. Well, we've reached another hour mark. It's been on low and medium. We're just shy of 500 degrees. Let's take a peek inside, see what's happening. Okay, looks like most of the plastic is turned into nothingness. I do see some cracks on the mold. I don't know if the camera's able to pick them up. But I'm thinking that these guys are pretty much burnt out, so I'm gonna ramp up the temp to medium and start my fire. I'm pretty much all ready to go over here. It's really hot out right now too, but first things we're gonna melt down are the old maker coins. I did keep one just so that I could have a kind of a first milestone remembrance. Get a little polishing of it. So I'm going to get melting, and we're going to be pouring these things here. Stick around. Okay, it's been another hour. This thing has gotten up to just shy of 600 degrees Celsius. And just a little bit over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to take a look, but I've changed my mind as far as how I'm going to proceed with this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it off, and I'm just going to let this thing cool off for a while. It's pretty warm outside. It's about 90 degrees, and so I'm going to wait for the sun to go down a little bit, and then I'm going to melt these up, or melt some aluminium up, and get these things poured in a little bit once these things cool down a little bit. I got these new gloves, and I don't want to grab them with the tongs, and it's also going to be kind of an experiment as to whether a hot or a cool mold is going to give me a better surface finish. So we're going to see. So we're going to wait a little bit. Stay tuned. Well, just as I turned on the foundry to start to melt some aluminium, it started to rain. So I got a little bit of a rain delay. I got everything in. Just gotta grab my other camera. So, looks like it's just a little passing storm. Should be good, but there is going to be some rain coming, so if I'm going to melt, I got to do it now. Let's take a look and see what we got. you can see some like ash material. Stuff like that. I wish Alright, so we're up to melting temperature, but I do have this one piece of scrap that I thought was pretty cool. This is solid aluminum. And this is a divider for a power pole. One side has got 120 volts and the other side's got like the network cable. So this was cut off from one that we had to make short. But I thought it'd be cool to watch it melt. Whew, it's so hot, yes. All right, so that turned out, I don't know, I'm still new at this, so bear with me as I learn, but I think it turned out pretty good. As you saw, I used my new ladle, and it was almost just the right size. So let's take a look and see what I got. They're still in the mold, but let's take a look. Alright, so I do see metal down in there. I do see metal down in there. That one I can't see through, but I see metal coming out there. This one I cheated on and back poured it, but I do see metal there. So I'm thinking we only really had one little chip. But let me grab my gun real quick. See where the metal is, it's like 229 it's reaching. Where the plaster is, it's only 80 something degrees. This is Celsius, so it's still warm. Alright, here we go. Alright, so I got some rain coming in, so I gotta conclude this video. I was gonna cut one up, cut the sprues off, and clean one up and stuff, but I still don't have the exact detail that I was looking for. Now, in conclusion, after watching the first video, I did get to see something. Let me get this in focus here while I'm talking. But one of the things that I saw was little hairs of plastic across all the letters. Once I saw the first video and got some of the close-ups of it. So I think with the other ones, I'm going to hit it with a heat gun, and I gotta figure out how to get this detail. But you can read that it's inside the minder mat. My gates and my pour spout work good. The gloves work good. The ladle, I gotta put a little bit of a bend on it. Excuse me. And it's only gonna work for small pours like this. But all in all, I don't think it was a failure. Once again, this is a learning experience for me. All this can get melted back down like the first ones I did, or now the second ones that I've did, and they'll get melted down and reused for the next pour. So, but all in all, I'm not completely disappointed. The weather's a little warm, but it's still a work in progress. The shell worked, that works. So anyways, if you like this video, please hit the like button, share on your social media so other people might get to see this as well. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you if you have. All kinds of links down in the description that you can either save some money or a bunch of ways that you can support the channel. So thanks for stopping inside the Minder Mat. Keep on coming back, because there's going to be more. Happy printing. Be safe pouring. So under some good light, let's take a good look at this. My pour spout didn't quite make it, but this is the best quality.